everyone, I'm Sarah of Rich Textures Crochet and welcome. Today we're going to learn how to crochet the lattice beanie. Now this crochet beanie is worked using the Polish star stitch, which is a really unique stitch pattern. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see these little stars coming through in the overall lattice design. So it's really fun to work. It's a lot easier than it looks. The most challenging part is at the end when you're braiding your little loops together. Today for the tutorial, we're going to be using a worsted weight yarn. This is a 100% acrylic yarn. I'm using the Heartland by Lion brand. The hat is worked in the Rocky Mountain color and Mammoth Cave. So Mammoth Cave being this brown and the Rocky Mountain being the green. Today I'm going to be working in the Wolf Trap along with, for my color A, along with the Mammoth Cave for my color B. You're going to need, each ball has approximately 250 yards. You're going to need about 2/3 of a ball for your color A, so about 200 yards, a little bit less. And you're also going to need of your color B about half the ball for your color B, so about 125 yards. You're also going to need a 5mm or an H8 crochet hooks, and there's links to some of these items down in the description of this video. Also down in the description you'll find a direct link to the free written instructions, which are on richtexturescrochet.com. The hat we're going to make today is size to fit and adult with a 20 to 22 inch circumference, but this hat has a lot of stretch to it. It's very forgiving and super cozy to wear. So let's grab our hooks and yarn and get started on our lattice beanie. We are going to start our hat today working from the brim up, and the brim of our hat is worked in rows. So you're going to start by taking your color A and by making a slip knot. You're then going to work a foundation chain, and today our foundation chain is going to be a total of 10 chains. You can make the brim shorter or longer simply by chaining more or less chains for this foundation chain. Once you have that foundation chain worked, you're going to begin row 1 by working a slip stitch into the second chain from your hook. I am working in the back bumps of my foundation chain just because I like the way it's finished on the other side. So slip stitch into the second chain from your hook and then slip stitch into each stitch all the way across. At the end of this row you'll have a total of 9 slip stitches, and you're going to have a total of 9 slip stitches throughout your entire brim of the hat. If you wish, instead of working slip stitches, you may also work single crochet or half double crochet if you find them a little bit easier than the slip stitches. At the end of your row 1, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Now for row 2 and every row after, for the length of your brim, you're going to work a slip stitch into the first stitch, working in the back loop only. So looking at the top of your stitch, you have your front loop that's closest to you, and you have the back loop. I'm just trying to get it to focus here a little bit better. And under this back loop only, that's where you're going to insert your hook. So slip stitch into that first stitch in the back loop only, and then slip stitch into each stitch all the way across. When you come all the way across, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and once again working in the back loop only, you're going to slip stitch into each stitch all the way across. You're going to continue to repeat your row 2 until the brim of your hat measures approximately 16 to 17 inches when laid flat. When you stretch the brim of your hat, it should fit comfortably around the circumference of your head, about 20 to 22 inches. If you need to add more rows or remove rows, you certainly can do so to make the brim of the hat larger, or smaller. So continue to repeat row 2 until your work from the beginning measures approximately 16 to 17 inches. Then meet me back here. Okay, so once you have worked your brim, repeating that row 2 until you have about 16 to 17 inches, this is what it's going to look like from the beginning, and this forms the brim of your hat. What you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 shorter ends and you're going to fold them over so that they meet. Make sure that your brim is not twisted. You're then going to chain 1, and I like to slip stitch into the back loops only. Now you can switch this up a little bit if you'd rather slip stitch in the front loop and then the front loop, or back loop and front loop. It's really up to you, whatever gives you the nicest look for your brim when you turn it right side out. You can experiment a little bit. I'm going to work in the back loop only, so inserting my hook through the back loop only of the first side, reach across, slip stitch into the back loop only of the second side. You're working through both thicknesses, and you're just going to slip stitch. You're going to do this all the way across, working in the back loops only of both thicknesses, slip stitching. Again, you will have a total of 9 slip stitches. This is going to form the seam, and it's going to hold the 2 ends of your brim there together. So just slip stitch all the way across. When you come all the way across, you're going to chain 1, turn your brim so that it is right side out. This is my seam over here, so you can take a look at it. Okay, so once you have turned it right side out, we're now going to work around the rough edge of our brim, and the rest of our hat is worked in rounds. For this part, we're going to continue working in our color A, and you're going to work round 1 by evenly placing 72 half double crochet stitches all the way around this rough edge. I'm just inserting my hook wherever it feels comfortable, and you're working 72 half double crochets. If you would like to change the size of your hat, make it smaller or larger, for this half double crochet round you're going to need a multiple of 8 stitches. Today for the adult size I'm working 72. Once you have worked 72 half double crochet stitches all the way around the brim of your hat, you can join with a slip stitch into the top of the first stitch. For the rest of the pattern, you will not turn your work. You're always going to be working in the same direction. Now for round 2 of the hat body, continue working in your color A. You're going to start by chaining 4. Your chain 4 will count as an extended double crochet stitch, here and always throughout this pattern. You're then going to work an extended double crochet into your next stitch. To work the extended double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over and pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops twice. That's your extended double crochet. You're then going to chain 10. This is going to form the first loop that we will be braiding through at the very end. Once you've chained 10, you're going to work an extended double crochet stitch in each of the next 4 stitches. And I will warn you, as you are working this hat and these loop rows, you're going to find that your hat looks quite large, but do not worry. When it comes to braiding all of our loops together, it's going to pull it in so that it's nice and snug and cozy. So you just kind of have to deal with the mess for a little bit until you have finished working your hat. So you've worked 4 extended double crochet stitches, and you're going to chain 10 once again. We're now going to repeat this all the way across. Work 1 extended double crochet stitch in each of the next 4 stitches. Chain 10, and repeat. 1 extended double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. You're going to repeat this all the way around until you have 2 stitches remaining. When you come all the way around at the end of your round 2, you're going to have 2 stitches remaining. You're going to finish off by working a chain 10, and then working an extended half double crochet into each of the final 2 stitches, and you're going to switch to your color B in this final stitch. So to switch to your color B, yarn over, insert your hook into the final stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop with your color A. Yarn over and pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, then drop your color A, pick up your color B and place it on your hook and pull through. You can then join with a slip stitch into the top of the first stitch, which is into the top of that starting chain 4. Now, depending on your preferences, you can leave this attached, or you can fasten it off and weave in that's your color A every time. I'm going to leave the color A attached and just hanging down the inside of my fabric, and I'm going to pull it up as I go. You're then ready to continue working round 3 with your color B. So with your color B, you're going to chain 4. You're then going to work 2 extended double crochet stitches into the next stitch. So 2 extended double crochets. Chain 10. You're then going to skip the next extended double crochet and work an extended double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, skip the next chain 10, and into your next stitch work 2 extended double crochet stitches, both into the same stitch. Next, work an extended double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and 2 extended double crochets into the final stitch of this set. So you'll have 6 extended double crochets altogether. You're then going to chain 10, and repeat. Skip the next chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, and work an extended double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, skip the next chain 10, and into your next stitch work 2 extended double crochet stitches, work 1 extended double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and 2 extended double crochet stitches into your final stitch. Chain 10, and repeat. You're going to repeat this all the way around your beanie until you come to the final, let me see here, until you come to the final stitch. You'll have 1 stitch over here, or 2 stitches over here. When you come all the way around at the end of round 3, you're going to finish off with a chain 10, skip that next chain 10, and you have 2 stitches remaining. You're going to work 2 extended double crochet stitches into that next stitch. And then 1 more extended double crochet into the next stitch, switching back to your color A. So your color A, if you've left it like I have, is just hanging down the inside of your hat. You're going to very carefully pull it up, place it on your hook, and pull through those final 2 loops. You want to make sure that it's flush with your fabric, not pulled too tight because you don't want your hat buckling, but also not too loose so that you don't have loose strands hanging down on the inside of your hat. Just pull it up so it's flush. Then join with a slip stitch with that color A into your first stitch. You're then ready to begin round 4 with your color A. You can start by chaining 4. Do not turn your work. You're then going to work an extended double crochet into your next stitch. Chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, skip the next chain 10, and into each of the next 2 stitches work 2 extended double crochet stitches. Chain 10, skip the next chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, and work 1 extended double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. You're now going to repeat chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, skip the next chain 10, and into each of your next 2 stitches work 2 extended double crochets. Chain 10, skip the next chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, and work an extended double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. You're going to continue this all the way around until 3 stitches remain. When you come all the way around at the end of your round 4 and you have 3 stitches remaining, you're going to chain 10, skip the next chain 10 space, skip the next extended double crochet, and work 1 extended double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. In this final extended double crochet, you're going to switch back to your color B, which is just hanging down the inside of your work, and join with a slip stitch into the top of your starting chain 4. For round 5, you can then chain 4. You're then going to skip the next extended double crochet, and we're going to chain 10 more. So you'll have a total of 14 chain stitches. You're then going to skip the next chain 10 space and work 2 extended double crochet stitches into the next stitch. One extended double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. And 2 extended double crochets into the next stitch. Chain 10, skip the next chain 10 space, skip the next extended double crochet, and work 1 extended double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. You're going to repeat this all the way around, chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, skip the next chain 10, and work 2 extended double crochets into your next stitch. One extended double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and 2 extended double crochets into your next stitch. Chain 10, skip the next chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, and work 1 extended double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Repeat this all the way around. When you come all the way around, you're going to finish off with a chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, and work an extended double crochet into the final stitch. You're then going to, in that final stitch, switch back to your color A. You're then going to join with a slip stitch into the 4th chain of that starting chain 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 4th chain, join with a slip stitch in your color A. You're then all set to continue with round 6 with color A. You're going to chain 4, do not turn. You're then going to work an extended double crochet into the first stitch. So just into that same chain 4 at the base of that chain 4, you're going to work an extended double crochet. Chain 10, skip the next chain 10 space, skip the next extended double crochet, and work an extended double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, skip the next chain 10, and work 2 extended double crochets in each of the next 2 stitches. You're going to repeat this all the way around. Chain 10, skip the next chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, and work 1 extended double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. Chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, skip the next chain 10, and work 2 extended double crochet stitches into each of the next 2 stitches. Repeat this all the way around until you have 1 stitch remaining. When you come all the way around at the end of your round 6, you're going to finish off with a chain 10, skip the next extended double crochet, skip the next chain 10 space, and into your final stitch, you're going to work 2 extended double crochet stitches. You're going to switch back to your color A in this final stitch. Now for round and join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. Now for round 7, 8, 9, and 10, you're going to repeat your rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6 once more. So starting with the repeat of round 3, you're going to chain 4 and work 2 extended double crochet stitches into that next stitch, and then continue around. So starting at your round 3, repeat rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6 once more, and then meet me back here. Once you have completed your repeats through to round 10, this is what your work looks like from the beginning. And it does look like a little bit of a mess, but don't worry, it's all going to make sense very, very soon. For round 11, you'll be working in your color B. You're going to start by chaining 4. You're then going to work an extended double crochet into the next stitch. Next, skipping the chain 10, you're going to work an extended double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. You're then going to repeat that all the way around. Skip the next chain 10 and work an extended double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. You're going to repeat this all the way around, skip the next chain 10, work an extended double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches all the way around until you come to the beginning and have 2 stitches remaining. Once you come all the way around at the end of your round 11, you'll have 2 stitches remaining. You're going to work an extended double crochet stitch into each of those final 2 stitches. You can switch back to your color A in that final stitch. Join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch. And at this time, we're going to go ahead and fasten off that color B. I'm just going to chain 1 here to kind of secure it, and you can go ahead, fasten off that color B. You're going to weave in your ends a little later on. Once you have fastened off your color B, you're going to leave your color A attached. We're going to pick it up a little later on. You can remove your hook from your work, and we're now going to braid our loops together. So for this part, you're going to want all of your loops coming through to the right side of your beanie, and you're going to want the right side of your beanie facing you. What you're going to do is you're going to start at the start of round 2, and you're going to take your loops and you're going to cross them over, inserting the left loop through your right loop. You can do it reverse if you'd like, just make sure it's consistent. So I'm down here in row 2. I have the first 2 chain 10 loops. Take your left loop, the second chain 10, and cross it through that first chain 10, just like so. Then it's kind of tricky. You're going to kind of hold on to your left loop, and with your right loop, you're going to take the loops from round 3, insert it through the loop, and pull up. You're then going to do the same for round 4. Insert it through the loop of round 3, and pull up. You're going to do the same for the loops on the left side, taking your loop from your round 2 and your loop from round 3 directly above it, insert it through round 2 and pull up. Then your next loop for round 4, insert it through round 3 and pull up. Now, I neglected to mention it at the start, but it might be helpful at this time to have some stitch markers on hand. And what I like to do is just slip the stitch marker through the loop to kind of hold it in place. Okay, and it's going to also mark your first loop. Across here, you've left your left hand one. You're going to leave that loop for just a moment, and you're going to head to the next 2 loops on your round 2. You're going to repeat that step 1 process all the way around, starting with these loops in round 2. So taking it would be the 4th loop and your 3rd loop, cross your left through your right, then pick up the loop in round 3, pull it through round 2, round 4, pull it through round 3. You can then, these 2 loops up here from your first cross over, you're going to just kind of mark those 2, keeping them together. Okay, they join up here at the top. Then going to the left side, directly above it, insert your round 3 through round 2 and round 4 through your round 3, and just pull it up a little bit. Continue to the next 2 loops. Cross the left loop through the right loop, round 3 through round 2, round 4 through round 3. Grab a stitch marker, just mark these 2 stitches, kind of pulling these 2 loops together so that they don't get lost. Continue up the left side, and you're going to continue this all the way around your beanie. Continue all the way around until you come back to that first loop. Now when you come all the way around, you're going to take your final loop that you've crossed over and you're just going to kind of join it with that first loop there. So you'll have worked all the way around now up through to the tops, to the loops of rounds, let me see here, 2, 3, 4, and so you've pulled your round 4 loops through. So you're now starting up around 5. What you're going to do is where you've marked all of your stitches, these are the loops that are now going to cross over. And you're going to essentially repeat the previous steps again, starting in your round with your rounds 4 and 5. So remove the stitch marker, and then starting with your round 4, you're going to cross left through right, then turn to the loop directly above that right side, pull it through, round 5 and round 6. Replace your stitch marker so you don't lose that loop. Go to the other side, you're going to pull through and pull through. Go to your next stitch marker. Remove the stitch marker using those 2 loops, cross your left through your right, pull the loop through directly above, and one more time directly above. Take those loops, they'll be from round, let me see, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the loops from round 6. You're just going to mark them and kind of keep them together so they don't get lost. Repeat for the left side. And move to your next stitch marker. Cross left through right. Then round 4 and 5, pulling through, and gather them with your stitch marker. You're going to continue repeating this process all the way around and all the way up your beanie until all of the loops have been kind of braided together. In the end, it's going to form a lattice or kind of a diamond pattern, and you're going to finish off by crossing through all the loops in your last final round, your round 10. So just continue on around your beanie, braiding your loops. You're going to see that there are no more gaps or anything like that that you had before. It's going to pull all of your stitches together. And it really makes a super cozy beanie. If you are looking for more detail on this stitch, it's called the Polish star stitch. There is a straight up stitch tutorial where I work it in rows, and you will find it under my crochet stitches playlist here on my channel. So continue crossing over loops. Once you've worked all the way up to the top of your beanie and you've worked those final round 11 loops, you can meet me back here and we're going to finish off our lattice beanie. Once you have all of your loops braided, you're going to have your hat that looks something like this. All of your loops are braided up to your round 10, and I have stitch markers kind of holding them all together all the way around. You're then going to pick up your yarn once again, and you're going to work one more round of stitches. So starting with this round 12, you're going to begin by, with the right side of your work facing, chaining 4. So I've already chained 1, 2, 3, 4. You're then going to work an extended double crochet into the next stitch. Actually, I'm just going to go back a tad here. I see that I joined in the wrong stitch there at the end of that round. There we go. Chain 4 and work your extended double crochet into your next stitch. You're then going to work an extended double crochet in the next stitch, but this time you want to make sure that you're working through your loops. So I'm going to remove that first stitch marker that are holding the 2 loops, cross my left loop through my right loop, hold on to it, yarn over, insert my hook through that right loop, and then through the next stitch, yarn over, and finish my extended double crochet stitch. You're then going to work an extended double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. You're just working into the next 2 stitches. And then your next extended double crochet, you're going to insert your hook through that loop on the left, through the next stitch, and work the extended double crochet. You'll then have secured your 2 loose loops to the top of your hat. You're then going to work 1 extended double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. And repeat. So you're at your next stitch marker, you're going to remove the stitch marker, insert your left loop through the right loop at the top, yarn over, insert your hook through that now loop on the right side, insert it into the next stitch, and work an extended double crochet. Work an extended double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Then for your next stitch, you're going to yarn over and insert your hook through that loop on the left, through the next stitch, and work an extended double crochet. Work an extended double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. You're going to repeat this all the way around until you come back to your starting chain 4, until you come back to that first stitch. When you come all the way around and have secured all those top loops, you'll have 2 stitches remaining. You're just going to work an extended double crochet into each of those final 2 stitches. Join with a slip stitch into the top of your first stitch, and then you can fasten off. When you fasten off, you'll want to leave a little bit of a long tail. You're then going to use that long tail to sew the top of your beanie closed. So if you're taking a look at your whole beanie here, you have from the bottom all the way up to the top here. You're going to take a yarn needle, and how I like to sew the top of these hats closed is just thread the tail through that yarn needle, then looking at the top of your beanie, you're going to thread the yarn and the yarn needle in and out through the top round of stitches, just under the top loops of your stitches. You're going to do this all the way around the top of your hat. Once you come all the way around, at this point I like to turn the hat so that it is inside out. I'm just going to pull back so there's a little bit more room there. So you're going to pull back and then very carefully pull that long tail so that it closes off the top of your hat. You're going to want to close it so that it is as the opening is as small as you're comfortable with. You certainly don't want to break that piece of yarn. Once it is as tight as you would like it, you're then going to sew the rest of the top of the hat closed. I'm just going to secure it there and then use whatever stitch you feel comfortable, sew across the top of the hat. I'm doing this on the inside of my hat, so none of this is going to show on the outside, and I'm just sewing that final seam closed. There is a little bit of bunching up at the top of the hat, but as I showed you at the beginning, you can still wear it with a pom-pom, with or out, or without, and it really makes for a cozy hat. Almost all the way across. You can then secure your end. You'll want to weave in then any ends. I'm just going to tuck this tail in even though I have knotted it off. You can cut off any other ends. I know some people like to see the inside of the hat, so this is my seam where I have pulled up the yarn on the inside. Cut off any ends, turn your hat so that it is right side out. You can then add a pom-pom to the top if you'd like. I have, oh, that's a great one, that's not too bad. Just like so. And that is how you work your lattice beanie. So thank you so much for joining me, and once again, while you're here, I invite you to subscribe. Take a look around. This channel is updated every single week, so be sure to check back soon. If you happen to make your lattice beanie and share it on social media, be sure to tag Rich Textures Crochet. I'd love to come by and admire it. Until next time, happy crocheting. Bye.